Hi guys and welcome back to Clearview Driving. Today I'm doing a mock test with Lauren. Now her test is in about 2 hours time. So we're doing a mock test and then the real test. How are you feeling today?
I'm a little bit nervous now that we're like here, but I was alright earlier, but I'm not too bad. Like I could be, thought I'd be more nervous.
Drive out was really nice this morning.
Okay.
Didn't really have any trouble.
Yeah, it's alright.
Now we've been doing lessons from a complete beginner. We've done about maybe 25-30 hours or so. She's had a little bit of practice outside with her mum every so often. So changing between cars, which is always good. We're going to get straight into the test. You know what's involved. Can we go through a quick question before we start?
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get straight into it. So could you tell me, where do you find the information for the recommended tyre pressure and how do you check this?
So the recommended tyre pressure information is in the vehicle handbook.
Okay.
And then you check it with a tyre pressure gauge.
Okay, sounds good. So when you're ready, 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's get ready. Alright, so for anyone that's new to the channel, don't forget to like the video, comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Alright, let's get straight into it, Lauren. Whenever you're ready, let's begin. I'm going to give you 20 minutes of independent, which is where I'm going to give you a series of directions to follow, but I'm going to give you directions throughout otherwise.
Yeah.
Turn left in here, please. Turn right, please. Take the next road on your left. Lauren notices the hazard ahead and doesn't waste any time using her mirrors, signalling and getting around the vehicle safely.
Going on here.
The vehicle behind still decides to overtake at this point. Now this was not a concern as Lauren was getting up to the speed of the road and driving safely. At the end, turn left. When emerging out of a T-junction, if there's vehicles on the right that are indicating left towards your junction, make sure they start turning before you emerge, as they may have left on their indicator and not realised. As we enter this new road, there's a warning sign that indicates that the road narrows on both sides and that pedestrians may be in the road as there's no footpath. Driving along on a road like this, always make sure to drive through slowly as the road is not wide enough for 2 vehicles in parts of this road and there's no footpath in case there were pedestrians. There's an advisory speed limit of 20 miles per hour maximum through this section of the road. Turn left. Coming up to the right bend ahead, after the last parked car on the left, Lauren continues to stay in the middle of the road. She should have moved back towards the left-hand side of the road, which gives her a good view of the road ahead, and also she's in a good position in case there was an oncoming vehicle. Pull over and park up on the left, please, somewhere safe. Thank you. Drive off whenever you're ready. As we're going forward, after the last parked car, Lauren makes sure to move back towards the left-hand side of the road. Now, if there was oncoming traffic, she's already in a good position in case she needs to give way. When we get to the end of this road, we're going to turn left and then turn immediately right. Okay. When waiting to emerge left at this crossroads, the van opposite is a hazard for the traffic on the main road as they're having to go into the middle of the road in order to go around the van, which does affect the way we would come out of this junction as well. Take the next road on your right, just where that castle's turned in. Pull in and park up on the left just before the next parked car. Yeah. Just by that little tree we'll be fine. Sure. That's fine there, thank you. Yeah. Okay Lauren, what we're going to do now, using the vehicle in front, I'd like you to demonstrate how you would carry out the parallel park exercise. Okay. So pull up alongside the sorry. So pull up alongside the vehicle in the road, then reverse back and finish within 2 car lengths and try not to touch the pavement. And think of the low curb as a raised curb, so don't go on that bit. Okay. But I can park beside that bit? Yeah, you can park next to it, so finish within 2 car lengths from that car. Perfect, okay. Before starting any reversing exercise, make sure to check all around, checking over your shoulders, left and right blind spot to make sure that no one is around your vehicle. Lauren does this really well. While reversing into the space, Lauren does get a minor fault for observation as she hasn't checked over towards her right blind spot since the very beginning. She did make sure it was clear and nobody had turned up, but always check around while you're reversing. Gotta give myself time to reset.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to start the independent part of the driving test. So I'm going to give you a series of directions to follow. So when we get to the end of this road, turn left.
Turn left.
At the traffic lights, turn right.
Yeah.
And at the next traffic lights, turn right.
Left, right, right. Okay.
So we're going to go end of the road, left, and then?
And then right at the traffic lights, and then right at the next traffic light.
Okay, if you forget, you can ask, okay?
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Dealing with the pedestrian ahead, Lauren should have braked more as the man started to cross quite slowly. Always make sure to leave enough clearance when dealing with pedestrians, as they can be unpredictable. They may stop suddenly in the middle of the road or may walk out without looking. Approaching the zebra crossing ahead, the van is parked on the left-hand side, which blocks the view of the crossing. Always make sure to slow down in case somebody is waiting to cross. Lauren deals with the near side turn at these traffic lights really well, making sure to only go forward when there's enough space for her vehicle to fit in the junction. If there's already two cars ahead of you, make sure to wait behind the stop line and that the lights are still green before you move forward. Once in the middle, wait until you can see the road ahead to be clear, or until the traffic lights ahead of you start to change to red, and then clear the junction quickly. This traffic light junction is an offside turn. You can see that with the arrows painted in the middle of the junction. Now we're having to turn with the bus, so it's quite a difficult position to turn from. As there are two lanes ahead, you need to make sure that you can see the second lane is clear. When Lauren does start to turn, it's partially clear at this point and you can see the lorry is slow moving, so she turns in. But you need to make sure that there are no motorbikes or cyclists in that lane that may be coming through. Towards Pinner now for a little while. So keep following signs to Pinner. When dealing with obstructions on the left-hand side of the road, always make sure to check your mirrors and move in towards the middle nice and early if 2 cars can fit in the space. Lauren deals with this really well, that way she's not worried about the clearance from the left or with the oncoming traffic. Driving down this road, you can hear the sirens of an emergency vehicle approaching. Lauren notices this in good time and starts using her mirrors to identify where they're approaching from. When dealing with emergency vehicles, always try and stop in a position where there's no islands close by and that the vehicles on the opposite side of the road haven't stopped right next to you. That way they don't have to slow down too much in order to get around. Lauren stops in a really good position. On the next roundabout, Pinner is towards the right hand side. Now you don't necessarily need a signal for this turn, but Lauren does indicate right. This doesn't necessarily go down as a minor fault, however, as it's not affecting anyone and it's not an issue. Thank you, that'll be the end of your independent driving. I'm going to give you directions as normal from now on, okay? Now, as we're waiting in this position, Lauren's actually waiting in neutral and doesn't realise that she's not in gear. Now, this fault didn't actually affect anyone because no one turned up and no one was affected with our signal or the fact that we were trying to move off. So this would not be a serious fault at all, but it did go down as a minor fault. You can switch off the engine. Right, brilliant. Just give me a few minutes. That's the end of your driving test.
Oh, okay. That felt really short.
Alright, okay. That's the end of your driving test. How was the drive for you, Lauren?
For the most part, it was good.
Okay.
Had a slight issue at the end when I thought I was just pressing the handbrake the wrong way all the time, but I just wasn't in gear. But I finally realised.
Yeah.
I was struggling and realising why, but I just wasn't in gear. So I will make sure that I don't do that next time.
Yeah, no, it would be a pass. That was a good drive. That was a
really?
Good drive. Yeah.
Yay, thank God. If you said
really
fail,
good
I would be
drive.
stressing right now.
There really wasn't much going on. I've got maybe 3-4 faults at most. The parallel park was really nice. Just one minor though.
Yeah.
You didn't look around enough. Like you looked around at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
But then
during it, I didn't look. Okay.
Yeah, so you're nearly in and you kind of just been looking on this side. Just nobody was there, but just kind
just
of a
in
little
case.
quick, yeah.
Just a glance. Okay.
Yeah. And then obviously when you're sitting there parked in neutral trying to move off for ages.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I hope I don't have to say it. I hope I don't have to say it. But nobody was affected by your signal. No one's really around at the time. But now let's say someone's waiting for you.
Yeah.
And now they're waiting for you. You're trying to move off. And
yeah.
you're
If
not
I
moving.
wasn't parked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at least I rechecked afterwards.
You did realise. Then you've got that one minor account on hesitation. You know when we were making that right turn, you didn't realise it was this right turn because there was that no through road sign.
Oh yeah.
So as we came up to that turn, there was plenty of space before that green van. I think.
But I didn't go because I thought it was.
Yeah. So that's the small little bit.
Yeah.
And besides that, the other thing I've just want to put it under steering, but sometimes when you're going into like a bend, you're not positioning left enough.
Before a right-hand turn?
Before a right bend. So if you're going around that
I
bend,
did think that a couple of times actually.
Yeah. Okay, so overall really good drive and you dealt with that emergency vehicle very nicely.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you saw them coming in the distance for a while.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what they were doing and then I sort of kind of, when they got like, not closer but
because where you were, there was lots of room around you at the time, so you kind of just moved over to the side, but maybe just a little signal, just to make it clear. And even when moving off, you made sure to check, and even your blind spot, you checked nicely and then moved off. So you dealt with them generally very nicely. Just maybe a little signal, but
a signal, yeah.
It wasn't a fault exactly because they could tell what you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mildly panicked a little bit when I saw the flashing car.
the
And
car with the sirens.
I was like, right. I don't think I've actually had to deal with one of those before, like myself, like
Yeah.
just in a mock or anything like that. And I was like, okay. But then because they were so far back, I didn't know what they were doing. But obviously I had so much space around me. But then because all the other cars behind me were also stopping as well,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna go a bit forward, and because there was no point in just stopping where I was. I would have been waiting a bit longer. So I was like,
No,
I'll
it's
just go
good that
forward
you
a
carried
bit.
on at first. Because the reason why they hung back there for a little while is because the cars behind us kind of all compiled in the same area.
Yeah.
So then they had a hard time getting
So
through.
it's actually good that I went forward a bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's actually really good that you went forward.
Well done, me. It wasn't 100% my intention, but I did it right, so it's okay.
But yeah, thank you for everyone that's been watching. Hopefully that video has been useful and you learned some tips from Lauren over here.